Well, good Monday morning to you, and welcome to our Monday morning live edition of Healthy Living South Mississippi. I'm Jim Tabor, along with Drs. Jim and Janine Fox.
Good morning.
Good morning. Everybody getting over their, getting used to this. What, a week ago now, we moved the clocks forward and really messed up our sleep patterns.
Right, that's what we're talking about.
That's what we're going to talk about
so,
today.
exactly, that circadian rhythm.
Right.
And and it's interesting too. I had saw, and you see commercials about all the time, people that are totally blind, what they do, the things that they deal with regarding, sleep patterns and everything. But our phone lines are 896-0713 or 800-349-0713. So the circadian rhythm.
Yes. Actually, they say that the circadian rhythms are actually in all animals, even plants, fungi, things like that, have a rhythm, a pattern, if you will. And of course, the humans, it's one that causes us a lot of problems when we do these daylight savings time things. And a lot of times they say, oh, well, that's just an hour, so it doesn't mean much. Well, an hour can do a big deal with you. It really can.
They've even shown that it increases heart attacks after time change.
Yeah. Really?
Oh, yeah. It throws you off. I mean, so when we're talking about health, we're really talking about some serious issues when your circadian rhythm is thrown off.
It is true. And you'd think, well, gee, it's only an hour, so it's not a big deal. But again,
my body says it's a really big deal.
My body says, hey, it's a heck of a deal.
Yeah, really, exactly.
So, getting used to it's hard.
Yes, it is. It is.
And of course that you take that little change that we go through every year, and we're doing it twice a year now because for some reason, I don't know why they think it's really saving anything. They just okay, pick one and go with it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
But because I think really and truly what they're doing is they're really doing a lot of disservice to the public, and a lot of health issues are cropping up from that simply because they're doing this change constantly. So you're constantly changing. You're in a way almost like the person who does shift work, where they work one shift for a week, a different shift for another week, and they never seem to really get that.
Shift work is definitely one of the things that's been shown to be terrible for your health. They know that it increases cancer risk, it increases heart attack risk, it makes weight gain. Weight gain is a huge part of the circadian rhythm. They show that people that don't have a good circadian rhythm or don't have a good routine, and they don't have a pattern, and they throw their body off all the time, gain a lot of weight. It makes them hungry, and so it affects some of the ghrelin and there are some chemicals and stuff that it affects that it actually makes you hungry. It makes you eat more, and it makes you gain weight. So we're even talking about weight loss. If you sleep better and have better patterns, and always the one thing that I tell people all the time, go to sleep at the same time at night and wake up at the same time in the morning. And a lot of people
even after the time change?
Well, I mean, you have to adjust it by an hour. But I mean, you have to get into a routine, and a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people just kind of whenever. And that's why it's if you have any kids, if you get them off that pattern, they don't have little kids, if they don't take that nap, they're hard to deal with. And that's because
hey, if I don't get that nap, that's hard to deal with.
Big kids are hard to deal with.
Heck with the kids, I'm sorry.
I mean, that's face it, it's us.
Yeah, because I mean, with Kim and I, we go to bed, and even when the time change, we still go to bed between 8:30 and 9 o'clock at night. But we're up between 5 and 5:30 in the morning.
Well, you see, that's normal. If you think back to our ancestors, they went to bed with the chickens and got up with the chickens. Okay, chickens go to roost in the evening when the sun starts to go down, and of course the rooster crows first thing in the morning. He kind of gets you up and going. And literally that pattern that kept that, because that animal is their circadian rhythm, the rooster and the chickens and all that, they're kind of keeping us in the right kind of circadian rhythm. Well, we don't have that now. And, like I say, then they start changing these times around on us, and it really does lead to some problems.
We need to go invest in roosters.
There you go. Everybody needs a rooster.
Oh, I can remember all that when I used to stay at my grandparents out in the country years ago when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And you're right, chickens start going to bed, and it's like, Granny and all them saying, okay, it's time to check in there.
Yeah, it's time to kind of wind down for the day.
Well,
the roosters wake you up first thing in the morning.
The one thing the main thing that controls circadian rhythm is light. That's why you mentioned blind people at the beginning of the show, and they don't have the light that we have, and they can't see the light. But light is definitely the main thing that controls it. That's why it's important to get outside. These people that stay locked in, closed up, windows, no light coming in their house, no lights turned on, they really mess up their circadian rhythms, and in turn mess up their health. So it's not just about just the circadian rhythm doesn't mean anything. It makes a huge difference in overall health.
Well, and I will admit that it just kind of hit me over the weekend, but I don't know if it had anything to do with the time change, maybe so. But I've been fine for for a year without having any health problems, and all of a sudden I've got this sinus stuff in my head, kind of jumped up on me.
It definitely affects the immune system. I mean, there's no doubt about that. It affects your immune system. Because think about it, when we go to sleep at night, that's when our body heals. All right, if you disrupt that sleep pattern a little bit, it doesn't take a lot, but if you disrupt it some, then okay, you're kind of throwing off the whole healing process, if you will, of the body, and the immune system doesn't function quite as well as it should. So, yeah,
wow,
more susceptible.
And people don't realize how. I mean, how many people have sleep problems? It's a lot. And sleep,
everybody.
Sleep actually does play a big role in those circadian rhythms.
Really?
Oh yeah. If you don't get good sleep, then you tend to be tired during the day, and it affects those rhythms. And another thing that tends to, adrenals play a huge role in circadian rhythm, or it follows your circadian rhythm, or it's supposed to. Adrenals actually start real high in the morning. Your cortisol, which is your stress hormone, and you're supposed to have some stress hormone. Zero is not good either.
No.
But it starts real high in the morning. So if you look at a graph, it starts high in the morning and it starts dipping. And by noon, it's kind of halfway down. 3 o'clock, it's getting pretty low. By nighttime, 8, 10 o'clock at night, it's real low. And it's because if it doesn't get low, then you can't sleep. So it is a pattern in itself. So it is a 24-hour cycle. And we even have a test where you can check, because some people, we do the spot cortisol, and it doesn't really show their problem.
Right.
But then when we do this 4-time test where we check it throughout the day, you'll see sometimes they actually have problems. So we do a test, it's called the adrenal hormone stress profile. But stress definitely affects the circadian rhythms by affecting the adrenals.
And the circadian rhythms affect the adrenals.
Adrenals, exactly.
Cat's chasing
So
its tail.
if you're not sleeping, it throws off the adrenals as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, our phone lines are open at 896-0713 or 800-349-0713. We're talking about circadian rhythms this morning, but if you have any questions about any other health issue, please feel free to give us a call. We'll be right back. And welcome back to our Monday morning live edition of Healthy Living South Mississippi. Live healthy, be healthy. I'm Jim Tabor, along with Doctors Jim and Janine Fox of Doctors Nutrition. They are on Pass Road. They're south of Pass Road. They're on Cowan Road in Gulfport.
It's Monday, folks.
It's Monday, yeah. It's that circadian rhythm.
That's right.
Brain hasn't caught up with it yet.
It does affect your brain, and it does affect memory.
It really does.
Depression, and it affects all that. It really does.
Mood swings,
It does.
everything that. I'm sure.
All that. I mean, it's all done.
So many people get thrown off after the time change, which is why we thought about this topic at this time of the year. Just because when it happened last week, we were like, well, man, everybody's already having a problem with it.
I always have. Some people don't have too big a deal with it. I mean, a lot of people. I mean, for instance, we mentioned shift work. Some people can get along with that. I can't. I mean, I'm just not one of those people. It's like this daylight savings time thing. It's only an hour, and it throws me off. And they say, well, you get over it in a few days. Baloney. It takes me weeks, if not a month or so, to get over it. And
I think
a lot
the more
of people
regular you are, though, the more routine you are, the more it throws you off.
Well, you see,
And I'm
you see
very
a lot of
routine.
the.
And he's like a dog.
You see a lot of the first responders that actually are deal with shift work.
Well,
Month on days or a couple
Yeah.
months on days, and then they go to nights.
It's hard.
Kind of thing.
It's hard on the body. I mean,
Yeah.
you have to be pretty healthy and
And like I
do
say,
it.
some people can kind of adapt to that better than others. And she mentioned, I'm pretty routine.
Like I said, he was like a dog. He's not like, because dogs are very routine.
Very
and if you have a
routine.
dog, they know every pattern, and they know what you're supposed to happen in every pattern. The more you're like that, I think the more it does throw you off, because you are so routine.
I don't know. Our dog caught up with it real fast because usually she would start yipping at around 5 o'clock in the morning to get up. So you would think that.
At 4 o'clock.
That she'd start yipping when we sprang forward. That'd be 6 o'clock that she'd start yipping. No, about 2 or 3 days late after it changed.
It's
5 o'clock. It's just
like
the same
you
thing.
didn't get to sleep late very long.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's a dog or the cat wakes her up or whatever. Just
Somebody's rhythm's off.
Time to start making some noise here. Well, we got to get up and eat.
But there are some things that can help regulate your circadian rhythms.
Okay.
One, a lot of people have heard of melatonin. Okay, melatonin is something that babies have huge amounts of melatonin. And as we age, it decreases. And that's why as people get older, they don't sleep as well because their melatonin goes down. That's why I always tell people that come in and they're wanting something for sleep and they're 20-something, melatonin probably is not the best thing for them because it's usually not decreased in that age group. Now, if somebody is older, past 60, 70, then yes, theirs starts dramatically decreasing. So melatonin is good for them. And they know for shift work, for jet lag, for all the things that throw you off. Because jet lag is another thing that throws off your rhythm because you're crossing, especially crossing time zones. That throws you off as well. So melatonin has a lot of research at resetting the circadian rhythm.
Right.
Melatonin has some other benefits that nobody ever thinks of. Everybody thinks of melatonin just for sleep.
But it's actually a great antioxidant.
Yep.
Who would have thought, right? It's actually shown in a person who's having heart disease that it actually protects the heart from some, even what they call the reperfusion injury. Like if you have a heart attack and once that blood starts flowing again, it actually protects against that. So I mean, it's got some really neat.
It has a lot of research for cancer and as an anti-cancer. It also helps the immune system. So there's a lot of things melatonin does, and a lot of people don't think about that.
Yeah.
Right.
Karen from Gulfport on the phone with a question. Good morning, Karen. What's your question for the doctors?
Hello.
Hello?
I'm calling because I'm a diabetic. And I need to lose some weight. That I do know.
Okay.
But I need a good diabetic diet.
Okay.
Actually, if you come by, we recommend a low glycemic diet, which is actually limiting the carbohydrates and the sugar. We have a sheet that tells you exactly how to eat, and if you come by, we'll give you one of them, and we'll kind of go through it with you and help you
Explain it to where you understand it.
Learn how to eat, because a lot of people, unfortunately, don't eat correctly for diabetes, and all the new research coming out, you can't go by the old stuff. But the new stuff coming out is really low glycemic and low carbohydrate.
Yeah, and the low glycemic diet there, Karen, is really, really good. A lot of great food on there.
Oh, yeah.
And I always say, eat to control your blood sugar and the weight loss will come.
Yes.
Promise you.
Right. You don't do it just for weight loss. You don't eat just for weight loss. You eat more to control your sugar and then the weight loss will come.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it'll help the diabetes. So it's kind of like,
Right.
they help each other.
And they're located on Cowan Road, just south of Pass Road. It's right across the street from the old garden center, the old Kmart there.
Yeah, and it doesn't cost anything to come in and get that. I mean, that's just a service that we provide.
Thank you, Karen.
Thanks, Karen.
Thank you for the call. 8960713, 800-349-0713. And let you know the hours that they're open. 10 to 5:30 Monday through Friday, 11 to 2 on Saturdays. Jim and Janine are there Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. And Dr. Bull is there Monday through Friday. And, of course, they've always got a great staff of people there. And, again, you don't need an appointment, and there's no charge for a consultation.
That's right.
And that's great.
Now,
So.
another thing, we're talking about things that can help reset the circadian rhythms. Another thing that helps is to increase your serotonin. And increase in serotonin, we use 5-hydroxytryptophan is the main thing that we use to do that.
5-HTP?
Yes, 5-HTP.
XYZ.
XYZ? Kim calls it XYZ.
But it is something that you can definitely, it helps with sleep, but it does help with the circadian rhythms as well. They actually have a lot of research, and it does help depression. Now, you cannot take the 5-HTP with prescription antidepressants. So we just wanted to tell people that.
But, along that same line, as far as, when you're talking about the circadian rhythms and we talk about the increase in the serotonin and so on, remember that about 90% of our serotonin is made in the gut. So back to probiotics, I mean, I know we mention that all the time.
Yeah, we do.
But that even something, you think, well, gosh, how could that affect my sleep? Well, if it affects your serotonin levels and your GABA, which is another neurochemical that's primarily made in the gut, yeah, it's going to do it.
And another thing is to get outside and get some sunlight.
Oh,
That's huge.
And that huge difference with serotonin. That's why they have those light boxes. People that aren't in an area where they can get it, like sometimes in Alaska when they have all darkness, they have light boxes where they sit in front of because it helps with the serotonin. Now, I always tell people when you go outside to help with the serotonin, sunglasses block that. So you don't want to go out and always have your sunglasses on. Some people's eyes are sensitive, but you can sit kind of in the shady area, and you don't have to stare at the sun.
Right.
But you do need to have it to where the sunlight can get into the eyes.
Yeah, the weather here lately we've been having is absolutely
gorgeous.
beautiful. Really,
Gorgeous.
really nice.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
really
we're
cool.
slight burnt today from being out so much this weekend. Last weekend was cold, and this weekend was so nice.
Well, exactly, and this whole week is supposed to be same thing. I mean, temperatures
Yeah.
in the 70s and up close towards 80. Might get a little rain this coming weekend, But still, I mean, get outside in the evening time when you get home. Take a walk around the block. Sit on the back porch. You know, and
in today's world, if you look around, people don't go outside very often. Yeah. And I think it does affect the health, and it does affect health problems. Now, we're not saying go out and burn, because I don't think you want to do that. But you do need to get outside and get sun direct, to where it goes into the eyes, and also some on your skin for your vitamin D production.
That's right.
Exactly. Yeah. All right, our phone lines are open at 896-0713 or 800-349-0713. We'll be back with this week's special in just a moment. And welcome back to our show. It's our last segment this morning, so our phone lines are open to you, 896-0713 or 800-349-0713. And if you have a question for the doctors, even not even regarding your circadian rhythm, please feel free to call. This week's specials kind of help you out there.
Well, I mean, when you talk about circadian rhythms, you're always talking about sleep.
Right.
Okay, so for that, we have two things. One, melatonin we mentioned, okay, which I think is a great compound. I mean, it really is. And the other one is the, we call Doctor's Nutrition, or DN, Better Rest. And it's a combination of various things, got a little bit of the 5-HTP. No, excuse me. That one doesn't have the 5-HTP.
It actually has the melatonin. But then it also has your GABA and some of your other relaxants to actually help you relax.
What's the difference between it and the Best Rest?
Well, Best Rest was one we've used for years, and we still have it.
Right.
But we actually came out with Better Rest, and it has a lot more melatonin in it. So actually, it's a higher melatonin product for sleep, but then it has the relaxants.
The GABA and so on.
So some people don't like the higher amounts of melatonin because it makes them too sleepy, and they get too groggy the next day. And then we would use the Best Rest. People that need the higher dose of melatonin, which some people do, the Better Rest. The Better Rest, I've had people try both at times on samples, and they tend to say that the Better Rest seems to be stronger.
Right.
But some people don't always need stronger. So we do have the Best Rest, we have the Better Rest. And if you come by, that is one of the things that we can give you a sample of.
Yeah.
We can give, sleep things, you can give a sample, and that way you can kind of see how it makes you feel. A lot of natural products, you really can't give samples because it takes too long to see a difference. But things for sleep, you can see pretty quick.
Yeah, and it works great because my wife and I, we both take it.
Yeah.
We take one a night before we go to bed.
Yeah. And we have a lot of people. Sleep is a problem. And without sleep, then you have health problems. So when we're always talking about how to be healthy and how to, if you're not sleeping, you need to do what it takes to start sleeping better. Now, we always say, get your sunlight. Go to bed at the same time, wake up at the same time. Don't do anything stimulating right before you go to bed, like computers. They know that is actually making people's rhythm off a little bit too.
They say the blue light spectrum, and
right.
Somebody was in not too long ago, and they actually had an app on their phone. They got an app for everything, I swear to you. And it had, so at night when you're I guess after dusk or whatever, it starts having a red background. Yeah,
really?
Kind of weird.
Well, they do know that does play a role in sleep. So,
well, when we go to bed at night, of course, I'm out like that. Kim has her iPad. She will read on her iPad, but she lowers the screen light on it.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's kind of dim, so it's not really bright or anything like that. Right. So, and it helps relax her to read like that.
Well, reading is really good. I mean, one of the the best things sometimes for kind of going, getting down is it in the evening, or like say some people do it when they go to bed, is they'll turn the lights down kind of low and they will actually start reading a book or something. It's really good because you can kind of,
but it probably is better to read from a book and not a computer.
Tablet, yeah.
It really is. They're finding the computer lights do make a difference in sleep.
Well, but again, she will dim the light. She dims the light on her pad, so one it doesn't disturb me.
Right.
And then I always tell people, in your room, make it dark. I mean, people think, I sleep better if I have night lights. You really eventually will sleep a lot better if it's dark.
And oddly enough, we have a little dim night light, but it's on downstairs because we have our master bedroom is a loft. It's downstairs plugged in by the kitchen, so the light is just a little bit dim.
Yeah.
You're better in darkness. They do know that.
Yeah.
The darker.
When's the last time you stubbed your toe on a steel bed frame?
That hurts.
And it does hurt.
Yeah, you're feeling your way along through there, and all of a sudden, wham! So yeah, that does kind of hurt. But the Best Rest, and then mention the 5-HTP.
Right, the 5-HTP, we have that also.
We've taken one of those in the evening time as well.
Oh yeah, now 5-HTP, we use it all the time for sleep, it helps a lot of the people that say that they can't shut their brain off at night. That really does help because it helps the serotonin and it helps stress and it helps handle stress better. So the 5-HTP is something else we use a lot for that.
Well, and as we say so many times, the best thing that you can do is go in and talk to the doctors and just
figure
basically
out-
tell them what's your daily routine. You know, what are the things that you're kind of dealing with, the issues, you're having problems sleeping at night or whatever. May
Because
need to get some
everybody's-
blood work done
Right,
just to find
everybody's
out. Might be
different.
some underlying problems, you know.
We even have people that come in and say they've taken melatonin and they go to sleep well, but they wake up pretty quick afterwards. And on that case, we even have a timed release melatonin, that it actually time releases throughout the night.
Right.
It's not in the products that we talked about, but we do, it's called melatonin CR, which is controlled release. And so we have that as well. So we have a lot of different products for sleep. There's not just those. There's things that can, you know, theanine can actually just help kind of relax you, even though it doesn't really make you sleepy.
GABA. We have just pure
GABA. We have everything individually that's in the Better Rest.
Right.
You know, because every once in a while you find somebody that can't take a certain thing. They say,
Right.
you know, I don't take melatonin, I have too many dreams, and that is one of the bad side effects of melatonin. Is
Puts me in 3D and surround sound.
if you already have a lot of
Oh, I
dreams,
like that.
but it can make nightmares. And so people that already have nightmares, melatonin can increase that. So it depends on the person. That's why we always say, come in, it doesn't cost anything to talk to us, and we can see for you what would be the best thing.
Right.
You know?
Is there a way that you can get a baby into a sleep rhythm?
Well, you got to be very routine.
Yeah.
I mean, you will talk to anybody that has babies, and if they are not in a routine,
Because
it
one
is a
of our
nightmare.
directors is a
Yep.
new daddy.
Yep.
Congratulations, Grant, you and Amanda.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
But yeah, like Janine said, one of the biggest things, because you know, babies have the highest level of melatonin that they'll ever have in your life.
That's why they sleep a lot.
That's why they sleep so much. But you have to have that routine. It has to be very regular. It has to be very routine. They have to, and once they get in that pattern, again, you know, that circadian rhythm,
then
which
they're
is
more
that
likely
pattern.
to, they say the better you're in pattern, the better you sleep. So if they're kind of chaotic where they go to bed at different times, it'll make it worse.
Right.
And I've never really talked to a new mom that don't say they have to have a pattern.
yeah.
And
Sooner or later.
people are very routine. And some get out of that routine as they get older and go to parties and go out, and it messes up their routine. They don't sleep well and they feel bad the next day. So routine is what people really need to do for overall health. There's a lot of stuff out there on how good it is for you.
That's true.
Yeah. So, and again, if you have any issues, the best thing to do is come talk to the doctors about it.
Yeah, it doesn't cost anything to come in.
No,
that's
no,
one of
that's
the
a great.
nice
I mean,
things.
let me know where you can go find another doctor that you can do that. I mean,
Yeah.
without having to pay some kind of copay or something.
That
Like I
was-
said, and during the week, we're there Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Dr.
Yeah.
Bull's there Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
So you can come by Monday through Friday. Now on Saturday, the store is open, but it's only for refills and if you know what you need. And so there is no
Yeah.
doctor
Well, it's
available
only
on the
open from 11
weekends.
to 2 on Saturdays.
Yep. And so come by. You know, we always tell people come by. There's 3 of us there now on the days we're there. So, you know, there's really not even much of a wait most of the time.
Yeah, that's a good thing because you know, a lot of times I go by there and the parking lot's full, and it seems like all 3 of y'all may have somebody in the
Right.
Oh,
you're
yeah.
talking to.
We're talking to, yeah.
You know, get your blood pressure checked or something like that if you feel like you're having some issues with that.
You know, those are, you know, that was kind of our concept when we started Doctors Nutrition a long, long time ago.
Actually, it's been 20 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That long, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Actually, it was 20 years
It's a little over 20 years now.
last September. Right.
Yeah.
So it'll be 21 years in September that we've been on the coast.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
So
awesome.
it's been a long time.
Our concept was
We
to
started
have it easy.
doing natural functional medicine before anybody else did. It was before it was even popular or everybody else talked about it. We've been doing it a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so what are we talking about next week?
Well, next, go
We're
ahead.
going to open up a can of worms next
I was
week.
like,
We
yeah,
are.
well,
We are,
there's a
truly.
lot that's been on the media this week and about the harmful effects of ibuprofen. And so a lot of people don't know that there's a lot of natural alternatives. And so we're going to talk not just about one thing that's a natural alternative, but lots of different alternatives for different problems that you can do instead of ibuprofen.
Okay. That'll be a good show.
Oh, it'll be a good one.
Tune in to join us next Monday morning, our usual time period for our live show here at 9 a.m. And again, if you have any other questions, feel free to stop by the doctor's offices or give them a call. 897-0070 is the number. Have a great day. Get out and enjoy some sunshine.